Hey guys, and welcome to the June 2019 Creativity Tarot readings. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kayleigh Jean. If you're new to my channel, you are welcome to use these readings for your sun, moon, or your rising signs. So go ahead and check all of them if one of them doesn't resonate. And I just wanted to say to you, thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting my channel. This month, our Inner Workings topic is all about self-love. So if you're somebody who enjoys my channel and you get something beneficial from these readings and you want to support the work that I'm doing here, I am so grateful to you. And you have a couple of options on how to do that. So the Inner Workings topic is going to be posted on Vimeo, and it's going to be posted on the normal donations page. So if you prefer to donate to support my channel through my website, that option is revamped this time. I'm bringing it back. I was just exploring things last month. So you can donate to support this channel if you get something out of these readings and you want to say thank you. And just as an additional gift to you, I create the Inner Workings topic for each month, which is just a place for us to hang out and talk about spiritual topics. And I love hearing from you guys. And this month I am covering self-love, because it's such a buzzword and it's such a big topic, but I wanted to kind of take it deeper, and I wanted to share more intimately about my personal beliefs and my own personal thoughts on the concept of self-love, what it means, and how I measure it in my own life. And I'm also offering a tarot spread to help you connect to your own relationship with yourself. So that's going to be included in the Inner Workings topic. So I hope that if you're interested in supporting my channel, you will check that out. And I also wanted to say that I am going to continue creating the Vimeo extended readings. Have been a really great way for me to go deeper with the general monthly spreads that I do for you every single month. It's just a way for you to watch the deepening of the energies, especially if you feel that the reading is resonating to you. Then watching the extension is probably going to be even more connected to your energy, because these are just general readings, so they're not guaranteed to resonate with everyone every single month. Okay guys, those are my announcements. I will see you in the readings. Okay, Aries, let's get into your June reading. As I was tuning into your energy for the month of June, I was given this impression about some kind of otherworldly energy or some type of foreign energy coming in. So for some of you, I'm getting the sense that there's either like an overseas or international trip coming up, or that's something that you really want, or you could be meeting and making friends with somebody or deepening your relationship with somebody who is from a foreign culture, and they just have like a very interesting perspective, or you yourself are coming off as like very worldly in some way and very eccentric, and the way that you're connecting with other people this month in June has this dynamism to it. It has this changeability, this fluidity, and sort of like I feel there could be some surprises coming in, or there could be something that you're not expecting, but in a very adventurous sense, not in the sense of like a negative surprise, although, you know, sometimes we can have those. More like the energy is very focused on somebody who's different, and that could be you, Aries, interacting with people who perceive you as, like I said, eccentric or worldly, or you are getting to know someone who's from a different culture and you may be traveling or planning a trip to spend more time with that individual. This could be a business relationship or something creative. It could also be romantic, but I'm just getting this sense of like you almost packing your bags or getting ready to pack your bags. And this could be a metaphor too for some of you if you don't have any travel plans at all and you're not connecting with anybody new. This could just be a general sense of an adventure coming into your life. And I would encourage you to kind of meditate on that theme and see what comes through, because there's definitely, for me, a feeling that for many Aries people this month, the energy is all about like forward motion and exploring kind of previously unexplored territory and having a lot of fun with that. So let's go ahead and see what comes up in your cards. I'm using a new tarot deck, well, new to this channel. It's called the New Palladini Tarot, and it's a really interesting deck, so we'll see what kind of messages it has for you. Messages and energies for Aries. Aries. Okay. Okay, so I was just seeing a campfire too, so there could be something having to do with camping or being out in nature. So we're going to get a sense of these energies, and we're also going to get your animal spirit guide cards because I can never leave this deck. It is just, it's cemented into the foundation of this channel. Can we just say that? Aries, Aries, Aries. Messages from the animal spirit guides for Aries. Okay. So let's take a look at your animal spirit energies. Okay, so we have hawk crossed by the bee. So again, we're getting this theme with the hawk card. This a lot of times does tend to come up when travel is involved or when we are getting news, news of something that maybe we didn't expect. A lot of the shamanic traditions around the hawk as a symbol correlate it to this idea of new energy coming in, and it sort of brings messages from spirit, or it brings messages from beyond, from places that we don't normally get messages and communications from. The hawk represents those messages and those communications finally coming through. So Aries, if you have been waiting on some kind of communication from someone, if you have been thinking about someone and waiting to hear back about a decision that they're making, this could be in a business deal or the sale of a home, or I'm leaning more towards something related to your career, simply because we do have the bee card coming up on this, which is so much about career, and also beyond just career, it's also about your service in the world and kind of your dharma, or like what you're here to do, what you're here to accomplish on a soul level as well. So it's like the most fulfilling efforts that you can put out. That's really what the bee points to. Given that we have two creatures of air in this draw, I definitely feel like that's an important message for you in itself. The energy of June is going to fly by for you, Aries. You are going to be feeling like you have the wind in your sails, and it's quite possibly going to feel a little bit more active than usual. Or, for example, because these are two winged creatures, you could be traveling over long distances, or just communicating across long distances as well. So we have this theme of, again, packing your bags, and it could be in relation to a work trip for some of you, because the hawk, remember, like I said, is that communication, perhaps from afar, about a decision which affects you. And then the bee card really brings the mobilization and the energy to your career sector of life and to your creativity, as well as what you feel your purpose is. So there's mobilization on all levels going on for you, Aries. Now let's take a look at your tarot cards. So we have the King of Rods. Wow, super powerful, with the Knight of Cups. Let's see what else is going on for you, Aries. We've got the Fool and the Page of Rods, the Hierophant, the Six of Cups. We have the Ten of Rods and the Ten of Cups. And now the rods in this deck are the wands. So we have, gosh, so many like forward-looking energies. This is a really powerful reading. I see a lot of initiative being taken, Aries. There's a full moon in this image of the King of Wands here. I'm going to use like the normal terminology because I prefer the word wands to rods, but I do see that there's something about this full moon going on in the background of the King of Wands card in the beginning of June, where it feels to me like in May, the Scorpio full moon on May 18th had some kind of profound impact on you, Aries. Personally, as a creator, you may not have completely recognized it at that moment, at the moment of the full moon. Maybe you did, but on some level, perhaps even on a subconscious level, that Scorpio full moon maybe planted some sort of seed, psychically for you or psychologically for you. And I feel like the month of June is really a progression from that initial insight or that initial intuition or that initial like spark that flew for you sometime around the middle to the end of May with that Scorpio full moon, because we have that full moon very clearly in the, showing it's carrying the energy as it goes into the month of June. That moon is sort of carrying that. So that's definitely what I'm seeing there. And I feel like this month in June is going to be about exploring the options that you have now that you've had this initial spark or this initial inspiration or this opportunity or whatever it is that you are seeking. As you move forward, we have the Knight of Cups and the Fool as we go deeper into the month of June. So with the Knight of Cups, this shows me that there could possibly be a water sign person involved in your life in some way. If it's not you, if this card isn't pointing to an aspect of you, which I'll discuss that in a moment, but there could be a younger water sign person, or maybe they're not necessarily younger than you. They could be the same age, but they just come off a little bit younger or a little bit more naive in certain ways. You might be considering a business partnership, or you might be considering taking some sort of journey with that individual, because it's followed immediately by the Fool and the Page of Wands, which are both about someone at the beginning of a journey. And we see kind of, again, like this Fool energy is the blue. He's wearing the blue. And the Knight of Cups isn't necessarily wearing blue, but he's a Knight of Cups, which is typically associated with the color blue in my mind for water. So there's potential with this Page of Wands pointing back to the King of Wands, and then this Fool card pointing back to the Knight of Cups, that for some of you, this is a very specific message, for some of you, you are considering moving forward in some way with a water sign person, or with somebody who displays water sign characteristics. Maybe they have a water moon or a water ascendant, but you're considering moving forward with some kind of relationship with this individual. It could be a creative partnership, it could be a love relationship, it could be a friendship, but there's definitely something going on there that feels to me like you could be working more and considering taking some kind of adventure or some kind of venture, like a business venture. Either way, there's some kind of adventure going on, and you're considering like who you want to take this with. So there's a number of ways that these energies play out for each of you individually, but I am seeing that, to me, it looks like the stars are aligning for whatever this is to take shape. You may, for some of you, and again, this could be a very, very specific message for someone out there, but you may be feeling a bit like there's a flavor of destiny to the beginning of the month, because you have this emotional connection, or this deep kind of like resonance with the concept of a new path, or with the concept of a new trajectory with the Fool and the Page of Wands. These cards coming up together, they very much relate to like the power of new beginnings in your life, and feeling like the future holds a lot of promise, and feeling that you're not held back anymore by the past, and you're not going to bring any like too heavy of burdens with you, is kind of like the feeling that I'm getting from these cards, is that you're just sort of excited and open. Like the Fool is card 0, so it sort of represents the void. It's the emptiness, it's the space within us that we need in order to plant something new. We need space for something to grow. We need room, we need oxygen, we need kind of like an empty vessel if we want to fill it up, right? And so I feel like you have that empty vessel. Whether this is about a partnership or not, Aries, this could be something that you're doing on your own, and the Knight of Cups represents you on an emotional level. Whether you are partnering or not, this is a time in which you feel that your cup is empty in the best possible definition of that phrase. Like your cup is ready to be filled. You have this delicious space in your life now where you can begin to take those steps into a new journey, and you are beginning to feel excited about what that path will look like with the Page of Wands looking out over these pyramids. So there could be something also quite spiritual about this, because wands in themselves to me relate to spirituality and intuition, but the fact that there's the pyramids there, that also tells me that there could be something sacred or mysterious about this path that you're considering. Now it's interesting because underneath everything that's going on right now with underneath the King of Wands, we have the Hierophant and the Six of Cups. So again, another cup energy coming up underneath the Knight of Cups as well. This tells me that there could be someone along your journey around that third week of June where this person, this individual, could be stepping in, or even coming back from the past. And this would be maybe like a previous teacher of yours, or somebody who you worked with, who was maybe some years older than you or had more experience than you in something. And they are kind of coming back into your life to give you some sort of gift or some sort of meaningful advice. With the Hierophant, this can also be about like authority figures. So sometimes people have a strong reaction and don't really like the Hierophant card, but seeing the Hierophant coming up with the Six of Cups to me tells me that this is actually if it is like an authority figure from your past, it would be somebody who was like a guide or a mentor to you, or somebody who genuinely did have your best interest at heart, and hearing from them again sort of lightens up your day. I don't know for how many of you this is going to be like a significant life event. It could just be like a positive blast from the past that you're like, oh wow, it was so great to hear from that teacher again, or oh, I bumped into my old life coach or whatever, and we had a great conversation, and I realized how much I've accomplished or how much I've achieved since I was working with that person, or since that person was my teacher. I'm seeing like things coming full circle, or there's just this impression of like something that provided structure and guidance for you in the past is now coming full circle, and you're able to really appreciate it in a way that maybe you weren't able to appreciate it before. So honoring like your ancestors, your teachers, your guides, anybody who had a hand in shaping you in a positive way, Aries, that's what's going on around the third week of June. I feel is there's some kind of thing coming in, and it feels positive. It feels maybe even like an old friend, or like a reconnection with somebody that you lost touch with. I wouldn't necessarily say that it feels romantic necessarily, because it is the Hierophant card, and whereas like with this energy, with the King of Wands and the Knight of Cups, even though the Knight of Cups, if it represents an individual, it would be somebody who's a little bit younger than you, or who has a little bit less experience than you in some way, or who seems younger than you for some reason. That relationship would feel more to me like the potential for romance, because you're more on the same level. Whereas with the Hierophant and the Six of Cups, this to me feels like an older person, or somebody who's kind of like from your deeper past, if that makes sense. And you're benefiting from that interaction. Now, with the Ten of Rods and the Ten of Cups, it's interesting to see these two tens coming up at the end of the month for you in the end of June. It tells me that there's a possibility that in order to continue moving forward towards something that you really want at the end of the month of June, Aries, you're going to realize that you have to let go of something. You're going to realize that your plate is either just too full, your schedule or your routine is just bursting at the seams, and you're like, okay, I have to stop taking that class, or I have to stop teaching something, that doesn't bring in enough income for me, or like there's something that you're going to probably feel that you have to sacrifice. but it's going to be for a higher purpose. It's going to be for the purpose of opening you up to like your ideal situation, which is what everybody likes, you know, about the Ten of Cups card, is that it really represents your most ideal outcomes for yourself. And it represents like what your soul really wants, like what would be the most deeply personal and deeply satisfying direction that you could take your life in. Well, sometimes in order to get that, we have to sacrifice something else because we can't have everything. We only have limited time in the day. We only have limited attention. We have limited decision-making ability on a daily basis. Like there's a limit to what we can do. And maybe for you, Aries, because you are like a trendsetter and you are a boundary pusher, or like a personal boundary pusher is what I mean. Like you want to go beyond your comfort zone so often because you are primarily, like as a sign, you are primarily about emerging like from the collective soup of Pisces. You know, Pisces is the sign that precedes you in the zodiac, and Pisces is all about like the collective energy and the unconscious and the collective unconscious and everybody kind of associating. It's a mixture of all the signs, so it's like a soup, like a collective soup energy. And for you, Aries, like if you have Aries prominent in your chart, in your sun, moon, or ascendant, or if you have a stellium here, one of your biggest themes in this lifetime is really to differentiate yourself from the collective and to really find your individual path and find your individual truth and live by that truth, and emerge victorious through your own personal efforts and through telling your own personal story the way that you see fit. So something that I see here with these tens is like you might have been trying to do too much or live by the collective standards in some way, and you're realizing that that doesn't serve your individuality and it doesn't ultimately serve your energy because you look a little tired. Okay, so there is something about letting go of like societal expectations or the collective expectations that you might have of yourself or that other people may have of you. And but you're going to want to sacrifice something in that context because it's going to open up the potential for like what you really want to come in. So there is possibly a little bit of a sacrifice at the end of the month, but it's something that you're consciously choosing, and it's for a really good reason. Okay, so now I'm going to get you guys your reading extension cards. So that was your reading, Aries. I hope that that was helpful for you for the month of June. I am continuing to do the Vimeo readings, and these are just optional for anybody who wants to continue the reading, but the core messages are here for you for the month. So let's take a look at any additional messages we're taking from the After Tarot. And I will be also getting you guys some messages from some oracle decks. So we're going to get a message for you from the Soul Trees Oracle. And I'm also going to get you a message from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Okay, and I want to get a message for the creators out there from the Bob Ross deck of playing cards, because these are just so sweet. Oh, it looks like a couple of them are turned over. Okay. And I just love these because they always give such beautiful and accurate little messages specifically for creatives, and I find them to be just so uplifting, and I absolutely love Bob Ross. So okay, All right. Okay, Aries, I'm going to just turn the tarot cards over just so I can see before I start the extension reading. So here we go. Page of Wands, Hangman, the Star, Five of Cups, Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant coming up again, with the Five of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords. Okay. All right, so that is your reading. Aries, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here on my channel. I hope that you have an amazing month in June, and I will talk to you in the next video. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. All those things are really awesome, and they really help me to know that these readings are helpful to you. So thank you so, so much. And if you'd like to donate to support this channel, I'll put the link below with the inner workings topic this month. Hope you guys are having an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, Aries.